Are you in or out for viewings? It's a really critical question that I need you to have a little think about. Today we're going to explore the 3 different types of viewings that take place on your property. One of them being you showing the buyers around, the second being the agent showing them around while you're still at home, and the third being the agent showing the potential buyers your property whilst you're out of the house. So today we're going to look at the benefits and negatives to all 3. So let's look at number 1. You guys yourselves, as the sellers, showing the buyers around. Now the benefits to that, I'll be brutally honest, there's none at all. Okay. The negatives are as follows though. Number 1, the buyers are going to be extremely uncomfortable. Okay. They are going to have to tell you how lovely your property is, how wonderful the space is that your house offers. They're just not going to be honest with you. Okay. And that's a really big issue in itself, because you're going to think that the viewing has gone absolutely fantastic and the estate agent is going to contact you the next day to tell you that it just really wasn't for them, they didn't like this and that. It really adds to the stress of the process for you, especially after 5, 6, 7 viewings, whatever it might be. Okay. Number 2, you've got no background knowledge of the buyer at all. When an estate agent shows a buyer around a property, they need to know key things, why your property, as we discussed in a previous video, where to start and finish the viewing are really key aspects of what we do as agents. Number 3, and it's probably the main one, to be honest with you, quite simply, you've employed an estate agent. It's not your job to show them around. That is the estate agent's job. We are trained to do that, and we need to do that. At least that's my opinion anyway. So we're going to look at the second option now, okay? And that's the agent showing the buyer around the house with you at home, okay? Now there is one benefit to this. You know the house better than anybody. You can answer any questions that those potential buyers may have. But in my opinion, that is the only benefit, okay? So let's again have a little look at the negatives. Now, we talked about uncomfortable buyers. It's going to be the same thing. Now, some sellers have a tendency to follow an estate agent around on a viewing, interrupt. All of that just adds to a buyer feeling very uncomfortable, not being able to express their opinion, which is something that we need in order to get the correct feedback for your home. Okay. Honest feedback is one of the most critical things that, as an estate agent, we need to present to yourselves as sellers, and that's really going to help us move forward to sell your home for the best possible price. Now, number 3 is the one that I would always recommend, okay, and that is the agent showing the buyer around with yourselves, not in the property. Okay. Now, I can appreciate that, yeah, sometimes the weather isn't the best. So worst case scenario, what we'd say is, just go and sit in the car for 15 minutes while we're conducting the viewing. That's all good. Now, there's no real negatives to this scenario, so let's present the key benefits here. Benefit number 1, the agent is trained to show people around your property. The agent is also trained to look out for key buying signals that your buyer is going to give off, which eventually will help us negotiate the offer to a higher price. And as we've always said and always discussed, is all about getting you the best possible price. Number 2, the estate agent should being the key word there, have knowledge of your buyer. They should know what they're looking for. What are the key aspects? Do they want a stunning kitchen diner with bifold doors out to the garden? If that is the case, that is where the viewing needs to finish. You need to leave them with a lasting impression, and you always finish off in the key area where they can picture themselves. Okay. Number 3, honest feedback. We've already discussed it 30 seconds ago. It's absolutely critical that your agent gets honest feedback to you at all times. What happens with feedback is, hopefully you should see a pattern emerge as to why people aren't potentially offering on your home. And if that pattern does emerge, you really need to ask yourself, or your agent should be advising you, is there anything you can do about that? Are there any subtle changes that could be made to make your house more attractive? That's why feedback is so critical and so important. That is one of my top selling tips, to be honest with you, is if viewings are going ahead on your property, that you just remove yourself from the situation and let the agent do their job. I hope you found this helpful today. If you do have any questions, please feel free to get in contact. I'll be more than happy to have a chat with you. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.